I would doubt myself with every step on the stage, but every time I would step on stage and win, that would make me better, stronger. I overcame this. I could do that. That would empower me and change me and give me confidence more and more. And that fight for that confidence, isn't that weird how that works? It just builds that within you when you don't need to act it. You just already have. I guess that's experience.
Welcome to the SHE Warriors, the part of the SHE word where I sit down with women to have those conversations that women rarely have but really should. And right now I'm sitting down with Marina Mazepa, who is a Ukrainian actress, model, dancer, and contortionist. She's probably most well known for competing in the 14th season of America's Got Talent and reaching the quarterfinals. She's also competed in talent show competitions such as So You Think You Can Dance, France's Got Talent, and Ukraine's Everybody Dance. As an actress, she's appeared in films such as Malignant and The Unholy. I am so excited to be sat down with you, Marina. Thank you for being with me. And you're giggling because you asked me, where did you get that from? Wikipedia. Now, we haven't met before, so I'm first up of everything. I'm going to ask you to describe yourself.
You know, it's a funny question. I'm still learning how to answer that question, because when you read, oh, Marina Mazepa, an actress, a model, a dancer, contortionist, people are like, good.
No, they don't. They get to contortionists and suddenly they're like, what?
No, usually it's like, I'm an artist.
Okay. You were also an artist, a visual artist.
You put together all of those things together into one word, an artist. And it's the easiest way to say that, because when you start distinguishing different pieces, because I never was a contortionist, a dancer, an actress. I always kind of was a mixture of everything. And I'm kind of proud of that, because in the beginning, I was trying to fit in. I was trying to look for one thing and go into the rooms for castings or and trying to be something like that, whatever they're I thought they're looking for. I'm an artist because I also create. And I think my artistry is my movement mostly, combination between emotion and motion.
Ooh. Okay, that's a really good answer. That is a good answer. And we're going to dive into that in a minute. But I want to go back to the very beginning, because your parents didn't want you to be an artist. Your parents wanted you to be a lawyer. And then you won a scholarship to go and learn the arts. And your parents were not keen for you to go. Talk to me about this, because obviously having a family upbringing where something academic like law was what was kind of the given, and then you saying, nope, I'm going to go and do something completely different. How did that work?
I grew up in a very small town in Konotop. Very pretty, amazing town in Ukraine, 3 hours from Kiev. My family, I loved law. I was good at school, and my family they loved me. And all they knew, they just wanted me to be happy. And all they thought was happy means a stable job, a lawyer, a doctor. I guess so many people like that, right? But I deeply inside, I just didn't want to be that. I was really good at dance. I had a wonderful dancing teacher, and I still thank you so much, Yulia Alexandrovna. She saw something in me from 4 years old, and I was a soloist of my little group in dancing. So I was just it was my passion, my drive. So after 9th year at school, I had a choice whether I continue go to high school or I go study as a dancer to Kiev. So my teacher prepped me secretly, and I left, I know, and I left my little town and I went to Kiev and I auditioned, and my mom only knew. She was like, oh my God, please, please, like, don't. And my mom told me, like, well, here's a thing. If you get a scholarship, then you will continue your career as a dancer. If not, you will come back to Konotop. So I got a scholarship, and I was the first on the list. And I don't know how that happened. It's just like I wasn't really the best at dancing, I guess, and technique. But I don't know, when you want something that bad, I guess you like just pour all your strength in it. And I started dancing it. And then I remember the 1st of September. That's when that's all the day when all the children kind of go to school. And my mom sits like in front of me, and I'm like, okay, time to call the whole family and say, my grandpa is like the guy in our family. And I'm like, well, I'm studying at a cirque and dance academy, and I got a scholarship. Oh my God, my grandpa was like, I still remember this. Who are you going to be? A stripper? Are you going to be a stripper? What is it? You broke your whole life.
Oh my gosh.
But that was like, they didn't want to do it they didn't come from the bad place. Obviously, they wanted the best for me, always.
Yeah.
So it took me a while. I didn't have a ticket back, kind of. So I had to like go push forward and achieve things. So I did. And then my family they were always supportive after that. Yeah. And then after So You Think You Can Dance in Ukraine, I took a 3rd place. They accepted it, and it was a big thing for them. So
then they had some national pride for you. But you said something just there I want to jump on. You said you don't know how you did it because technically you weren't necessarily the best dancer. And I think this is one of the things that we so often overlook, because passion and drive surely is as important as technique in any sphere, in any discipline that anybody goes into. You can be as technically perfect as you want to be, but if you don't have the personality and you don't have the drive and the reason to stand out, that's it, right? I'm right though, aren't I?
Absolutely. It kind of goes all together, especially hard work. I mean, you have to work for things always. They have to come to you easy with fun and joy, but also hard work has to be there. The discipline has to be there. And I guess I never lacked that. I actually lacked a little more balance in finding the balance in resting. So that's just my personality. But we come from the different backgrounds. So when you come from different backgrounds, it makes you. So
let's follow this idea of your family and move into America's Got Talent, okay? Because you just mentioned that you won this prize at the Ukrainian competition, at Ukrainian level. But then you go to AGT. And this is where, when I sat down to look into who you were, I was like, oh my word, I absolutely have seen you before, because you gave this. Yes, I am definitely in America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent. I'm one of those secret people that at 11 o'clock at night when I can't sleep, I'm like scrolling and going, oh my word. Yeah, don't tell anyone. This is a little dirty secret of mine.
I'm gonna tell anyone.
So when I saw you and I went through the Wikipedia page, and I saw the link and I was like, oh no, absolutely. I definitely have seen you before. So you go to America's Got Talent, you do this incredible, let's call it a dance routine out of respect, because you did sound like you weren't too keen on the idea of being referred to as a contortionist. And it is. It's a creative dance act with a lot of contortion that looks incredibly uncomfortable. And there you are in Simon Cowell's face, looking like you might give him a kiss at one point. How did that come about? How do you go from dance to, first of all, to this genre of dance, which is contortion, which I have to say looks quite painful, and then to America's Got Talent? How did all of that happen?
There's a lot happening between those.
Ooh, I got time. I got time.
I guess I want to say that I'm a storyteller, and I've learned how to tell the story from stage, or whether you're in front of camera, you're also a storyteller. We're artists. We create. We take humans, talents, pieces. We have different talents, and that talents that we bring to the world, that is your creation, that is your artistry, right? So I am a storyteller, but then I am a movement person, but then I know how to combine that all together. And I combined dance and contortion, and then pole art. I also did pole art as well.
Yeah.
And then I did martial arts, then I did acting. So it's a mixture. It's like that mix with like when you do the smoothie thing. But I don't know what to even start with. I guess after So You Think You Can Dance in Ukraine, I got invitations to European shows. After those shows, I performed in Olala show as a solo performer. And then dinner show in Europa Park. And then I became a choreographer in Europa Park as a choreographer of dinner show. And then another show in Europe and another show. And it only was around 2 years. Then I was invited to France's Got Talent. I took the 3rd place there as well. And then I was invited to America as a choreographer of one of the Cirque shows in Las Vegas.
Wow. Okay.
I said no to Cirque du Soleil invitation as a soloist in one of their shows. I never wanted to do one thing 2 years, the same thing over and over. I just never saw that as I didn't want to take a 2-year pause on being a one thing. I don't know, is it weird? And people oh, you said no to Cirque du Soleil. I'm like, I didn't even think of anything else but saying no. I didn't think it's oh, I need to think about the proposal. No, so I went there as a choreographer, as one of the choreographers of my style. And then I stayed after 3 months of working with the Cirque. And I was like, I'm going to be a star. I'm going to take my 2 suitcases, move to Hollywood, and I'm going to be a superstar. And I was 20 years old, no English, absolutely no idea where I would go. I canceled all my contracts in Europe. My European manager was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like,
"Oh my word!"
It was just one of those youth drives. I want to go. I want to do it. Why not? I'm here. And I didn't have English. I was 20. It was hard in the beginning. I slept at my friend's couch for a year. But I always had help. I always had great people around me. I feel like I got lucky so many times, but I get it. It's always, luck is a good preparation and an opportunity together. But I started learning English right away. I started making money as a model. And then that's when I was invited to So You Think You Can Dance to America and America's Got Talent. Because at that time, people knew me. People knew, in a performance world, producers look at different shows and kind of know the performers. So I was invited to both, but I didn't have visa. That was an issue. So I was in the middle of I just submitted for O1. I was getting all this paperwork done. You know how hard and long it takes usually. It's 6 months until yes, no, approval or whatever. So I auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance, and I took a ticket. I passed the first round, and I auditioned for America's Got Talent, and I had to choose. And then the thing was like, I couldn't continue. So We Think You Can Dance because of the visa situation. But then America's Got Talent was like in 2 months after So You Think You Can Dance. So I got my visa and then I auditioned.
Okay.
It was like, yeah. And that's it. And that was it. And then it was America's Got Talent. And after America's Got Talent, again, I got lucky. James Wan saw me performing and he cast me in his movie Malignant. And that's how my acting career started.
Okay.
Sorry, it was a lot.
No, you're absolutely right. I love stories. And I love storytelling and I love listening to stories. But as you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to sort of almost put myself in your shoes, because I'm thinking to myself, wow, you're a 20-year-old from the Ukraine who's in the US, who at that point doesn't have a visa. You're sleeping on someone's couch. And you've decided that you're going to go to America to become an actress, to carry on with your dancing and so on. What was that like? What was that time? I'm trying to imagine myself in your shoes. And I'm thinking to myself, that must have been very exciting. It must have been terrifying. It must have been very daunting. But also when you're 20, if you have that kind of energy and that personality, you do have a certain amount of self-belief which will drive you. Did you make mistakes? Did you miss home? What was that like?
I think I was just so fearless. Like I was just propelling forward without looking back. It was terrifying, especially when I just moved here. I was so frustrated. I couldn't even order coffee. I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, don't you understand that this is milk, this, I want this. I was like, I've learned how to live with the fear inside me and like using that as a power, I guess, than let it overwhelm you. Because that fear was, and I can't say that it was the best time in my life, like, right? Like, it's better not to have that fear, right? But sometimes I would get so sad and devastated and like crying, but that I use that as a fuel to go forward. I didn't have, sometimes people ask like, oh, don't you miss your family? And I did, but I guess you have this belief within yourself that, or it's like, I have to be here. No, I have to go. No, like, I don't, how can I come back? Like, I can't come back. I don't even know who and what I was proving to who. Again, we're coming from different backgrounds. Like, and I know that maybe the fact that I didn't have a father figure in my life, like I had to make it, I had to go. And maybe I just wanted a better life than, I saw my family has. Like I never was poor, but we never were like rich, growing up. So my mom gave me everything that she could with all her love. And I saw how hard she worked. So maybe that kind of made me unstoppable at some point.
I've always tried to work out where that fearlessness comes from. Because even in my life, there are things that I've done. I've said, oh yeah, of course I can run 126 kilometers. Of course I can run 168 kilometers. And never questioned it. Just gone, yeah, of course I can. And not had that, perhaps the questioning, the self-doubting that other people have had. I know from my own story, that comes from my upbringing. Not particularly was I ever driven to or pushed towards doing things, but my parents never said, why, you think you can do that? And also I came from a structure in the UK where I was growing up from, where even women were powerful figures in the country. But nobody ever said to me, really, you think you can do that? And that has been, for me, the greatest gift throughout my life.
Yeah.
And whether or not I came from a background that was ambitious, not really at all. But no one ever said to me, seriously, do you think you can do that? No one ever questioned me, and so I didn't question myself. And as I said, that's been a great gift. Is that part of your experience? Did your mum say, okay, you want to do that, you can do that, of course you can do that, I'm not going to question you?
You know, she never really stopped me from anything. She was always very supportive. She knew my passion for dance, and she was one of the first, like, those crazy mommies that, you know, like, let's go, go. Yes. So I guess she understood. She was also a dancer when you know, growing up. So I guess she saw herself in me a lot, but she didn't have the choice, the opportunities that I had. So she wanted to give me everything that she didn't have. So I guess to answer to your questions, no, nobody's like, oh, really, you can do it? No. I never had to ask myself that question. I was like in a very closed box. Like this is what I wanted and had to do, and I knew that. I don't know why. It's just like one of those.
The reason I ask is because I think we as women so often suffer from imposter syndrome. We wonder whether we can do it. We wonder, are we qualified enough to do that? Can we ask for a...
Oh, but that is constantly. Actually, no, that thing.
Okay, talk to me about that.
No, that thing is, it's, yes, all the time. And especially, I met my mentor. He's like my coach. He became my grandpa. I still take care of him in Ukraine, and I created with him most of my performances. And I would always advise with him and talk to him about all these details. He knows me the best, and he knows me to that core when I would doubt myself with every step on the stage. But every time I would step on stage and win, that would make me better, stronger. I would like, I overcame this. I could do that. That would empower me and change me and give me confidence more and more. And that fight for that confidence, isn't that weird how that works? It just builds that within you when you don't need to act it. You just already have. I guess that's experience.
Take care and enjoy healthy skin. Browns, empowering wellness through a selection of dermo-cosmetic brands ideal for the whole family.
Feel more sensual than ever before with the new Denise bra. Intimissimi.
I just feel alive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I got that lifestyle, I'm fierce as hell. That velvet top model, that husky fast throttle. Living it up, you know I love you. It said I just feel
Then I'm going to ask you how that translates into, you've gone into Malignant, you've acted in Malignant, and then you've gone on, you're not just on the big screen, you're also on TV series, you've done quite a lot of roles that we would know about, which is amazing. How did you make that transition then? Because you talked about right at the very beginning. Oh, okay. Okay. So how do you make the transition from being in an area where you're comfortable, you're confident, you've won all these awards as a dancer, and now you're going into acting? How did that happen? How does that look like?
I guess transitioning into acting was one of the hardest choices in my life. And also, because I was in LA, in the most competitive cities in the whole world. And I came in as like, I am a star, you know who I am, I am America's Got Talent. Like that was the feeling inside. Obviously I wasn't like talking that way, but I couldn't understand why nobody wanted to sign me. Nobody wanted to have me in their agency. I would like walk in and I'm like, I do all of this. Look at me. I can put my leg up. And they would be like, okay, great. So like, I got so discouraged. I was like, whoa, I was here. And then I had this moment in my life when I was like, boom. I had to start over because I thought my career, I thought it was like one thing, performing on stage or being like an actress in camera, like who cares? Studying English, studying acting, studying accent, all of that was for me in 1 year, plus the pandemic hit. And I started studying acting during the pandemic online. But also, I guess I had that feeling I've achieved already something. I didn't want to go back again. I didn't want to start over. I don't want to have like the same, oh, it's so hard. No, please don't do that to me. And I had to. And like in the beginning of like a couple of years, it took me a couple of years. I just was acting out the character instead of being and living it, and giving my bringing up the background. I had issues with emotion, with really feeling it, with being in the moment, with expressing myself, plus in English, plus my insecurities about my accent, plus with God, it was so much in my head, the fear of like survival mode. And I had to let go. And I had to go through those fears and I had to work. First, I just went to therapy.
Everyone should go to therapy all the time, definitely.
Because that's when you start understanding who you are, what you want, like how can you be a great character when you don't know what pain is, what causes you pain? You don't know yourself. You don't know how to analyze the character. Like I just had to start over and dig very deep. And it took me, I guess it's a constant process to learn who you are and about yourself. But I was always lucky. I had my talent and I was always very humble and present and like, but I didn't see so many things that other people see. And, some big, when I filmed the John Wick TV show, Albert Hughes, I love that guy. He took my hand one day at during the filming and we had a conversation. He's like, tell me about you. Like, what is this about you? Like, where are you from? He just asked questions. Like, who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? And I told him all these ambitions. I want to be who we're like. And he's like, that makes sense. So he kind of he's very smart. And he listened to me where I came from. And he's like, I understood. Because he's like, you're enough. Slow down. You're like, be present. All we need is this. That's it. Wow. Like, you don't, and that changed the whole thing for me in acting. It was like, you're enough. Just be you. I don't know. It just was. And then we had a conversation. He was very tough on me. And he's like, I'm just telling you this because you're worth hearing it. So I wouldn't waste my time on other people. And that's something that is shifting in me. And I'm like, yeah. And the whole thing started rewiring. So yeah, you have those kind of moments in your life. And it's not always, peach and pink and smells good. But
I want to go back to some of the things that you said and pick up the storyline and then just ask a few questions on that. And one of them is, you mentioned before, that you'd been asked to be at Cirque du Soleil. You had won these competitions. Everybody knew who you were. You went to Hollywood with this, I'm this person. You could have stayed doing what you were doing.
Yeah.
And not taken that nosedive to be able to come to a humble place where you say, actually, I need to start again from scratch. You could have just kept going, choreographing, dancing, being on television, being on stage, and doing all of that. How difficult was that choice? Was there a moment where you said, I don't know that acting's worth it, because I know I'm going to have to put everything on hold and start from scratch again?
It was difficult, but I really wanted to try it. I was like, I would regret if I wouldn't. And I always say it's better to try and fail than not try and regret. So I would never forgive myself for not trying. So I just went in and I saw the door opened right in front of me. So why wouldn't I walk through them? So
You also said that Hollywood is tough, that LA is tough.
very.
And I've always had this thought about that. I've always wondered, and you're a very strong, beautiful woman, but I wonder how hard it is to stand on your principles and say, no, you must have had people offer you opportunities that are a little bit compromising, or I can give you this if you do this, or you could have this opportunity if only you do this. And of course, ultimately, in hindsight, as an older person, I know that that is not the way to go, because what you end up doing is unraveling yourself. But you wanted it really, really hard, and you've had some amazing opportunities because you are incredibly talented. But how many times have you had to say, okay, I know, Marina knows in my heart that this is not what I should be doing and I should say no to this, or maybe I should pursue that opportunity even though I really don't have any assurance that it's going to work out. How have you managed to navigate the opportunities and also the times that you've had to say, no, this isn't right?
I think it's just from here. When you have that feeling within you that is right or wrong, and it's only right or wrong for you, not for anybody else around you. But when you really connect it to yourself and you have this passion or ambition within you, and sometimes you have to really listen and understand whether it's this or this. You know your value in the ways what is going to be good for you or not. Sometimes I would take jobs just for experience because the great people are working there, because the team, the project is great, and it's good. Like, I don't need money for that. No, it's great. Let's create, because it's. And sometimes you like getting just lucky and having an opportunity in filming a major huge film like Warner Brothers. Listening to yourself, but I failed so many times. It's not like you're just perfect and you know the answers. You try. I came to LA as well, and I was like, I wanted to be all of it. And I went and I made some choices that I should not have done probably, but thankfully they're not major choices, and thankfully I've learned from them. And I'm grateful for people around me who I listened to when needed to, and I asked for their advice before doing something, because those people are teachers around you. And when you listen to them, like this, my manager is still telling me, you hired me, listen to me. That's why you hire people.
You're paying me to tell you what
That's why
to
you
do.
hire people. But at that point, I didn't have a manager, but still, like friends or people who are experienced or have dignity or have a great feeling of what is right, was not right for you. When you're still young, or like when you're still ambitious, I don't really wanted to do everything. But like when I just came to LA and my friend is like, oh, someone offered me a job dancing. It was not a strip club, but it was like one of those weird and cheap. But I'm like, oh, maybe I'll meet someone there. Oh my God, it's 20 years old. Let's go. Like, he's like, no, Marina, you're not going performing in that whatever. So, those kind of little situations you learn.
Absolutely. I mean, you just touched on so many points that I really respect. First of all, listening to your gut, because your gut is never wrong. And the gut is, sometimes we have to listen to that. We have to retune it and override our head. But also listening to mentors around you who have your best interests at heart, and being humble enough as you have been to say, okay, maybe they know better because you're 20 and you've got the enthusiasm and the energy. Let's bring that right up to speed. From what I'm understanding, the passion is with the acting.
Yeah.
Has the dancing, has it taken a step back? Is the modelling still part of what you're doing? What are we looking at now? Oh, what does Marina look like now? Because there's so many. As we started off, I said, define yourself. And you said, I'm an artist and I love all of these disciplines. So what is the story now?
I guess right now I would split my profession, my life into two different directions. My art, I created alphabet with my body. I have stills and I have video art. So I'm walking into something new. It's a digital art where I create each letter. It's a 20-second art video, like where I'm from a dot morphing into a letter. And I have the whole alphabet. And I also have the stilt, but it comes from my performance. I think these physical pieces is the last version of my art, because when I perform, that's my true art. When I spell the word love with my body, but before the physical art piece on the wall that people can take home, it comes from the emotion, and then this dance performance, the movement combines together. And when people see this, they feel it, and they also can take that piece of art home. And the second one is my acting. I just finished Lee Cronin's The Mummy, and for the first time I was as a choreographer, movement choreographer on the movie, and it was a totally different experience. I think I told the producers, my friend producer, I'm like, this experience definitely made me a better person. Not only a better actor, but a better person for sure. Seeing how everything works from inside, having all these meetings, pre-production, how everything puts together, how many people work there. Because when I was an actor, came on set in the tent with my coffee, waiting, script, lines, all right. Oh, Marina, come here, sit down, okay. Do you want water? Do you want snacks? This is your lunch. I'm like, thank you. Got my job done, took me, put me in a van and done. Oh my God. This time I had to create my own schedule, create, think everything. It was on me.
Yeah.
How the whole thing is gonna look like. It's on me, directing the movement, making sure that the actress is working from here, directing the whole, creating the whole character. Movement is not only you can look at me, what kind of character I am. And when you move like this, what kind of character am I? So it's all about body movement, position, plus my experience in contortion obviously worked. So it was fun.
You mentioned about acting from here.
Yeah.
And it's something that you referenced. You did this before when you talked about becoming an actress and getting in touch with you, and there being some kind of block, if you like, for you having to go back and being able to live the experience of the part that you're playing. You mentioned that before, that had been a journey that you'd had to pass through. Is that something, could you have done this job that you've just done if you hadn't had gone through that soul searching in yourself?
No.
Because the way that you did this and you referenced your body
Yeah.
was exactly what you did about 10 minutes ago. And it just made me think.
I wouldn't. I think life brings us events and opportunities at the perfect time when we need it, but we not always will recognize them as we're like, why is this thing? No, I don't, like during the pandemic, no, during the strike, I started developing my Mazepa method because I was always, I know a lot in flexibility. And I'm good at teaching. I love explaining. So anytime my friends and I go somewhere, I'm like, no, you do it like this, you do it like that. I'm like, why you don't teach? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have time for that. I'm not interested. But then the strike hit and I started doing that more. So I'm like, why am I doing this? I never wanted to become like a coach. Never thought of that. But then I got this job, which was like so perfect because I have experience in teaching now, in coaching, and anatomy. I've learned anatomy. I learned the muscle work. I know how that all works. And now I need to teach a girl not only create a choreography and build a character and the scene with her, but I also was explaining to her what muscle to use, when to what to squeeze and how to make that trick and create it. She never was a dancer or anything like that, but I made her do so I had no idea this would be somehow connected. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what I love talking to you? I love this idea that you are exactly what you said at the very beginning. And that is that you're extremely fluid about what you want to do, what you have done, and what you can do. And that you see yourself as an artist who applies the same thinking and the same attitude and the same approach and the same ambition to every single thing that you try. And you don't see the barriers, or no, actually, I'm an actor now, so I can't do this. Or I'm a dancer now, so I can't do this. Or I'm a contortionist, so I can't do this. It's all just one entity that you're exploring different areas of, and there's nothing from what you have suggested, that there's nothing that's off limits. You would try different areas of your style, of your personality, and of your discipline and your artistry. Which leads me to one last question. There's a lot of chapters in Marina so far, in this story, in this book, in this journey. What would be the perfect next chapter? Because you've got your art, you've done this whole, I've seen this beautiful creation of the letters, of the love, and it's stunning, absolutely stunning. And you've also got the choreography. But what's the next chapter? If you could write the next chapter right now, and that would be the perfect chapter, what would be next?
I'm in the process of creating it right now.
Do we get a hint?
No, nothing's really like, wow, oh my God. I think I'm just searching a balance right now, most of all. A balance in everything that I've done. And I just figured what the essence of all of that. I know I said it already as like emotion combining with motion. And I finally understood that that's what I do and I'm kind of strong in. And it's not separate, but it's a combination. But also seeking a balance in rest and work and love and constant drive and going for achieving something new. Seeking a balance in like where's enough and where in the discipline to push more. It's like, I'm serious. I know it maybe sounds like woo-woo, but it's a constant work to find that balance. And you constantly like, oh God, I'm gotta bring this up and this one's a little down, because it's our body speaks to us, our people around, the opportunities that come to us that sometimes not. It's like I meditate every morning. And I started writing morning pages. It's so life-changing. It's crazy. But I started understanding myself only now better than when you're on a rush and on constantly. Because what I've learned, when you constantly rushing and running, there is no vector or someone who's really propelling you. You're not being led from here. You're being led from here, and you're just like in a forest, right? So when you make slower steps, you're way more precise. Because when you walk a step, check on yourself, okay, I'm going the right direction. Okay, then walk, pause, okay, good, I'm going the right direction. Oh, here is opportunity. Oh, you see something from outside. You have time to enjoy. Okay, let's go further. So,
It's incredibly intuitive, and what a beautiful way of putting it. When you said, let's slow the steps down so that we know we're heading in the right direction. I think you have spoken to so many people, including myself, because that's something that I am very guilty of, is heading as fast as I can in that direction and not taking the time to check that I'm heading in the right direction. And of course, we know, if you know anything about inertia, you'll know that if you're heading in the wrong direction fast, you're going to get in the wrong place quicker. I absolutely love that. And I'm really interested in this whole idea that the next chapter for you is all about creating balance. Can we sit down again? When you are into this next chapter, can we sit down again? I'd love to hear more about this and see where this narrative, this chapter, this journey, this story is going.
absolutely. Would be a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.